Hi, welcome to the 3.5 Walls podcast. I'm Austin Zwiebelman.
I'm Jackson Morrill.
I'm Josh Key.
And today, we want to usher in a Happy New Year, 2020, new decade!
He did it. He did it.
And the decade is off to a terrible start. Australia's on fire, and we're going to war with Iran.
It's been literally 3 days, and in those 3 days, we assassinated a government official.
The top military general of Iran.
How do you fuck up that bad?
I don't know. Like you could have at least used a proxy group. That is kind of like how you do this thing. That's like showing up to a dinner party and just like taking a shit in somebody's shoes. Level of like you could have covered this up any way, shape, or form. Just precedent, and we decided not to.
Oh no. Oh, we're live. Oh shit.
Oh my god! So, similar to what the United States is doing with Iran right now, we kind of had a week where everybody was recovering from the New Year's hangover, and we decided that we're going to stave off short films and stave off content, insofar as doing a,
anything that you want to see.
Yeah, a comprehensive, like, what do you call it? Podcast about any actual, like formed media.
Anything cool.
So we did something that we've been put on the back burner for quite a while now, which is we're going to review a bunch of trailers.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about the sociopolitics of Palestine.
I was thinking, I mean, if we were really going to talk about Palestine, my boys, I just think that the two-state solution could only work as long as they make amends for what they did in the 1970s.
I just think that they should have a timeshare. They get the temple every other weekend and on Thursdays.
The Holy Land doesn't have to be a perpetual thing. We can share this. Couples do it with divorce all the time.
Thank you for explaining the joke I was making.
Please kill me.
Alright, but essentially we're just gonna look at a bunch of trailers for shit that's coming out in 2020, ranging from literally 3 days from now to a couple months down the line.
Right. So we're gonna start off with the 20th Century Fox release, Underwater.
Yeah, it was like one of the last films, I think, that it's just a solo 20th century thing.
Alright, boys,
It's pulling me underwater!
Give me a U.
give me an N!
So Underwater was my contribution to the list. There's like 11 or so trailers on this list, but Underwater is a particular interest to me, not because Kristen Stewart, although that is a reason that could be on there, but because, and this is going to be the stupidest fucking thing, one of my favorite games, Dead Space 2, stars Gunnar Wright playing Isaac Clarke, and he's in this movie on, like, a small role. That is the only reason I want to see this movie when it comes out in 2 days.
I gotta give you an award, though. You're, like, the nicest guy in 2020 so far, because you have something positive to say about Underwater.
It doesn't really look like it's going to be any good, and it's also a PG-13 horror movie, which can work, but it doesn't frequently work.
So it's like Event Horizon, but instead of in space, which is cool, it's underwater.
Which is somewhat cool, but not as cool.
It's underwater is neat.
I want to draw attention to the original 1979 trailer for Alien, which was, I think, the first trailer to do the thing where they had the text come up letter by letter as they showed you spooky shit from the movie.
Yeah.
This is exactly trying to emulate what Alien was doing, except
My back.
except 5 miles underwater. I figure it is a spooky environment because they said 5 miles underwater.
Well, 7, but yeah, I think that the intent
shit.
is that because the deepest part of the ocean is the Marianas Trench, which is 7 miles underwater. Also, the cat is fucking with my backpack clip.
So why would they go there?
Because science does stupid shit all the time.
Because they drilled underwater and they don't know what came out.
Yeah, I mean, somebody grabbed, like, a screen grab from that original trailer, because I initially saw this as, like, ads on Facebook. Somebody grabbed a screen grab of it, and it looks like a fucking Squidward.
I want Josh to find a way to justify that this is the same universe as the Emoji Movie. because this has T.J. Miller, finally back from acting.
Yeah, I think the only good thing in this is that this promises that T.J. Miller, of all people, will die in the film.
Oh my God.
That's the only good part of this trailer.
Just
that
all
and,
those,
that
all
and
those
the
people,
one Gunnar Wright voice line.
All those people who were on the train where he issued that fake bomb threat just get to watch this movie and cheer at the part where the alien is like, dragging him underwater.
He drops the fucking title.
You know that Family Guy bit where they stare at the camera and go, "There, they said the name of the movie." They do that, but in the trailer.
I started playing Prey the other day.
When's that game from? Like 2013?
2017.
Yeah, it was $10 on sale, which is how I like my games. But it looks like that, but lame. They have like aliens underwater. But okay, what's the over/under on them being aliens that are underwater?
Ooh, like they couldn't survive in the atmosphere, and so they had to go chill really far down.
Yeah,
I think it's more of a Pacific Rim scenario, but
where they came from beneath the Earth's crust.
Yeah,
like heat on pizza.
But not a portal. They're just made of fucking molten magma.
I will bet with Josh that they are aliens.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. This movie doesn't look good, but I'm in it exclusively for Gunnar Wright, because I've not seen a movie where he has, like, a speaking role, because when he did the film for Angels and Airways called Love, that thing is just not available. There's no, like, physical release of that film, and it's not easy to find online unless you are Austin.
No, there are certain films that even I can't find. On the topic of rare films, like, the guy who played the dad in the original Back to the Future, he also played, like, Mr. World in American Gods. Yeah. Does anybody know his fucking name?
I'm just gonna say Tom.
Well, he released this, like, trilogy of movies that he only shows to his friends, but he shows it to them in theaters. And this guy is, like, a famous actor. Like, there's this one movie called, It's Fine, Everything is Fine, and it's all about this guy who's, like, mentally handicapped, and he's just strangling girls to death, and you cannot find them. But they're, like, famous movies. So there are movies that are, like, beyond my touch. Like, I sort of famously, back in, like, 2014, gave all my friends copies of the Cremaster Cycle, which is, Bjork, the Icelandic singer?
No.
Her husband, Matthew Barney, he did these rare movies that were originally art installations, and they cost like 25 grand to get a DVD of, and some complete maniac uploaded them to YouTube. Briefly, very briefly.
They were taken down quickly, but you managed to be in that window to snag rips of them?
So I had these $25,000 movies that were originally only sold at art auctions. And even I can't get my hands on It's Fine, Everything is Fine. And apparently the Gunnar Wright movie that you want to see, because fuck knows, I've never seen that.
It's like something that Angels and Airwaves did. I don't know anything about it other than Gunnar Wright is in it. And it was like his only other acting role other than I think he was a security guard in one of the G.I. Joe movies that had no lines. This is Gunnar Wright. This is the guy who has, like, I still think that Isaac Clarke in Dead Space 2 is one of my favorite video game characters, just because it's so well performed and acted. And it's just one of those things where the guy does not get enough movies, so I will buy a ticket for this just so I can support my boy.
I gotta say, we're all, like, not playing off the white guy thing. How'd you guys feel about Kirsten Stewart looking like Ripley in Alien? How'd you feel about her brushing her teeth? Wasn't that erotic?
Yes. I'm not saying anything else by law. The restraining order is in effect, including for reviews.
So, do you think this is canon with Zathura?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why would it be canon with fucking Zathura?
Kristen Stewart was in Zathura.
What?
She was the fucking older sister to the guy God, I don't remember his name because I don't give a shit about Hunger Games, but he's the main character in Future Man. He was the older brother of the two in that movie.
Oh my god.
You see his penis in Future Man.
Well, driving from, like, hot girls in the movie in a bikini, like typical Alien marketing, we're gonna go, like, completely in the opposite direction, which is the
Wonder Woman 1984 trailer.
Yeah, we're about to get real feminist on that. We're gonna be hot.
Welcome to the future.
So yeah, Wonder Woman 84. Ride the lightning, bitches.
I didn't know there was a part in the trailer where she Spider-Man's off lightning.
Yeah?
No one warned me about that.
That was one of the dumber things I've seen, I think.
I fucking loved it, but
I'm all in for stupid shit in superhero movies. I can willingly say I've enjoyed most of the MCU. So, it's at least less Saints Row than the next trailer, but...
I thought the 80s had finally, like, ended.
yeah.
Again.
Isn't there a 30-year rule for nostalgia?
Yeah, but technically 2020 would correspond with 1989.
Fuck you! Oh no! He brought in math!
Ah.
How could you do this to me?
It's incorrect math, but fuck you.
I thought we already had the 90s kids thing, though. I think that upsets the cycle.
Right, isn't this supposed to be like Captain Marvel? Like, shouldn't it have been Wonder Woman, Blockbuster, or, like Fanta, Juice,
Somehow
Fruitopia?
I mean, as somebody who was okay with Captain Marvel, it's fine. It's not like a fantastic MCU movie, but it's not like trash dog shit garbage either. This, I think, looks better. But I also think that I really enjoyed Wonder Woman, and I like Wonder Woman as, like, just an avenue for really random period pieces with the same character.
It's like, they brought back Chris Pine.
Yeah.
Which is...
It's one of those things where it's like, okay, what's going on? And I think it's to build up intrigue for them actually trying to do the DC Universe kind of right. Of, like, what the fuck is happening?
What I thought... Because in the trailer, he's like, what's this? And she's like, it's a trash can. And I'm like, is this going to be one of those movies like you saw in like the 90s that are shot on Shittio, where it's like a Roman centurion who's come back to modern times, but then in like modern day New York City and has all sorts of wacky adventures?
They did that with the fucking Princess movie back in like 2010. What the fuck?
Are we talking about the 2010 movie you're talking about? Are you talking about Enchanted?
Yeah, that one.
With Amy Adams, her breakout role?
I thought her breakout role was The Office.
What?
Was Amy Adams on The Office? I thought.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Ellie Kemper?
No.
I don't know. I don't watch
Amy
the fucking
Adams.
Office because I have actual taste in television.
Right.
Amy Adams was Jim's girlfriend in season 2 of The Office.
Oh my god, no.
So her breakout role was in 2005.
This
If we
explains
weren't
why
to-
me and Jackson had no luck when we tried Tinder. Like, we didn't even know Amy Adams was on The Office.
I mean,
Also,
if
the
we were
Office-
in a house, I would literally walk into the kitchen and scream, "Who cares?" as loud as I can.
Well, The Office is important because it's the prequel to Jack Ryan.
Oh no! Before he lectured a group of students on how what's that country in like fucking South America or whatever, like Portugal's a huge threat. I remember seeing a trailer for Jack Ryan, and he's just like, so what's the biggest threat? Is it China? Is it Russia? And then he's like, no, what if it's Venezuela? That's it! Like, it's fucking CIA propaganda.
Oh my god.
See, my only criticism of A Quiet Place was that they didn't have the balls to cast Jenna Fisher. And they just went with Emily Blunt, which is John Krasinski's real wife.
It would have been a full-blown Office sequel.
Well, I think it was also, like, as a couple, they produced that movie.
They
So
did.
there's no reason for them not to both be in it.
Just Pam and Jim going through a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
I would pay exactly $12 to see that in theaters.
No more, no less.
no more. No.
If you show up to a matinee, you just turn to your date and you're like, a different time. You like clutch their little $12, all of which marked up with a Sharpie, just with the words The Office written in shining text.
No gods, no masters.
All Michael and no Office makes for a bad last 2 seasons.
Oh, man.
It looked good. I of course, you pointed this out before we even watched it, like, hours ago. The cover of Blue Monday was fucking awesome.
It is one of those things that sold me. I will lean very hard on a trailer if it has music that I can jam to.
And there's nothing really to hate about it. Like in the Underwater trailer, he's like, it's dragging me underwater, and it leaves you with a really bad taste in your mouth.
I mean, the whole trailer leaves you with a bad taste because it's like, just look at us try to make Alien, but it's underwater and way too modern.
And with Wonder Woman, I just kept watching it, and I was just like, you know what? I'm kind of game. This is like Stranger Things.
Yeah, it's like Stranger Things. And I loved Chris Pine in the original Wonder Woman. I don't talk about it because I saw it precisely once in theaters. I had a good time, and I was like, all right, that was Wonder Woman. But now there's a sequel coming out, and it's kind of established that it is the good DC. That and, like, Shazam, I guess. But I haven't actually seen Shazam.
Yeah, the Rotten Tomatoes score on Wonder Woman kind of made up for all of their flukes.
It really didn't, but that's a different story because...
I think Wonder Woman is the fluke in this situation.
Yes.
Oh, God!
Yeah, Wonder Woman and Shazam are the flukes. I think they're maybe starting to get a handle on it, but that's because they have basically just, like... finally pushed out the suppository that was Zack Snyder. So
we're different superhero movie from the other side of the train tracks, though. We're now going to be covering the Marvel Studios release. It's no, I got to take this seriously. Black Widow.
Do we have to?
They're ripping off the skydiving sequence from Saints Row the Third.
That sticks out in my mind every time I see this trailer in theaters, is the shot where she's skydiving, and then these people, without parachutes, just like, pull out...
There she is! Get her!
Just automatic weapon!
This is... it looks like... ass.
It does!
They always say, put your best foot forward. Apparently Marvel misheard that and put, like, a fucking club foot that's been, like, just haunting them for 12 years.
You know that scene in that Mr. Deeds Adam Sandler movie from, like, when we were little baby kids, where the servant is putting out his, like, dead-ass frostbitten foot, and it's, like, all black and, like, fucking rotten, and he's just like, grab my foot, it'll save you from drowning in the ice! You know, that's what the Black Widow trailer feels like.
It's like, they had... I'm trying to figure this out and, like, give them the benefit of the doubt for the plot. But it features Wonder Woman's sister, which was revealed in the trailer in the most shit movie way possible.
What?
Not Wonder Woman's sister, Black Widow's sister. We watched two female-led superhero trailers back to back. We made a mistake.
It's got Florence Pugh, who is a you know, very normal-looking woman from England, playing... Scarlett Johansson's sister.
With the worst Russian accent I've ever heard.
Yeah.
How are you doing, sis?
I'm like 80% sure Adrian also worked on this movie.
Adrian's worked on every movie, though. We gotta give him a pass.
It's like...
yeah.
And then they have Captain Russia.
Yeah.
The greatest...
They body-shamed Captain Russia.
It's like... I didn't get a good look. We might have to rewatch this to see if there's the Adidas stripes on his costume.
We're not rewatching it, but...
This is the only way that I can... That's the only way this could be more stereotypical.
This is
in like a mean-spirited way.
Did you guys see the scene where they're all at a dinner table kind of talking together where I assume mother figure is like, you got the fit.
Yeah, body shaming.
And they have just a bottle of vodka, no food.
I didn't catch that.
There's just this like skinny glass bottle with a red cap, and I'm like, that's Smirnoff.
I get what they want to do. They want to be like, oh, here's all this fan service for people who actually like Black Widow in the comics, which is all 6 people. But that's like, there's too many things in there that are just like, here, fans of Black Widow, here you fucking go. You wanted your Black Widow movie. Like, they have Black Widow's white outfit. They have her fucking commiserating with William Hurt. They've got way too much shit. This supposedly takes place after Civil War. That is what I've heard.
Can we talk about how offensive it is that now that she's finally dead in the main movie, she finally gets
it's fucking stupid. This should... I feel like this movie would have been acceptable if it had come out instead of Ant-Man, but it is not cool for this movie to be out as the start to Phase 4.
It's like... Did they misread her contract when they made Endgame? And realized that she had one more movie, and they're like, oh shit. Like, what do we do? Let's make a Mission Impossible ripoff, but bad.
Yeah.
And hope that the fact that it's a superhero movie makes up for the fact in the box office that it's ass.
The only reason this will make any degree of money is because it is a female-led superhero movie. And I'm not saying, like, Captain Marvel was made money because of that, because Captain Marvel at least had some redeeming qualities, even if its marketing wasn't that great.
Yeah, like how the end fight scene had that Just a Girl song in it.
That was a part of it.
Or my video about Red Hot Riplets.
Eat the fucking chips, you idiot!
Masterpiece. I can't get behind this movie even remotely. Like, everybody's got the same, like kind of cultural idea of what Phase 4 is going to be. Phase 4 is where they get weird. And I refuse to accept that this movie belongs in that roster, because this isn't weird, it's just sad.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're finally going to do a movie about the one woman who's been here from the start, and their excuse for it being bad is just going to be, when this eventually comes out, oh, well, Phase 4 is weird, you know?
Yeah, hey, you guys said you wanted a Black Widow movie, here it is, you fucking nincompoops. Fucking eat it.
Like, I believe that's the cover that they're using, and I'm not entirely behind it. And also, I'm really glad to see the Stranger Things guy in a movie. I just, I wish he had, like a better character going on.
Frankly, I feel like he's going to be the only really enjoyable part of the movie, which means he's only going to be in it for half of the movie, given Marvel's track record.
That said, Florence Pugh, the girl who plays her sister and is given the, who's that Russian spy? The Maria Butina accent.
I don't know. Are we referring to...
Politics, yeah.
It's more like Hunt for Red October. Or like...
Do you think
any movie in the 80s when Russian actors weren't available because they were on the other side of the Iron Curtain, so they had Swedish people play Russians?
Oh my god.
Do you think they're going to have a part in the movie where they talk about how bad communism is?
Yeah.
Let's like make a bet right now. My bet's also on yeah.
This is
I'll
like...
throw $30 down on yeah.
This is like Skywalker tier Disney cynicism, where they just didn't put any effort into it because they know people were going to go see it because... it's an MCU movie, and you have to see all of those to have any understanding of the plot.
It does make me wonder if the actual quality content's going to end up on Disney Plus, but we won't know until Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which is like the first Disney Plus Marvel Cinematic Universe show comes out.
Who's that guy from the Fantastic Four who like goes around eating planets?
Galactus.
Yeah, there's going to be a part where there's this guy in Black Widow who works in Soviet Russia, and he's going to be brewing coffee out at the wrong things. And they're going to be like, this is shit coffee. And later in the new Avengers Endgame kind of style Phase 4 ending movie, there's going to be Galactus is going to meet that same guy, and he's going to take a sip of the coffee and go, this is shit coffee, and blow up a whole planet.
It's just Howard the Duck.
And that's why you have to watch Black Widow, is just for the this is shit coffee.
It's just Howard the Duck.
Also, are they retconning Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Oh, fuck.
I don't know if they are, but I didn't watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I don't think anyone else did either.
I watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's actually okay.
Yeah, I mean, it at least had Phil Coulson.
They're not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Peggy Carter.
Okay, Agent Carter.
Aren't all Marvel TV shows the same? It's just them going around and doing a Star Trek?
Basically. I don't know.
We've got a much more exciting trailer lined up next.
Yeah.
For something that's probably not going to get any riffing at all because it looks pretty fucking good.
I don't think we have anything else to say on Black Widow other than it gives us all a headache to think about.
Right.
So.
Like, it's hard to riff on the movie because there's so much wrong with what they've released.
I think it's going to be the closest MCU entry to Tall Girl.
I can build a hydrogen bomb.
Listen, Black Widow, it is great you're back. Now, please, squat with me. Just all the dialogue scenes, they're just squatting.
Hello, I am Captain Sharing. I am the Russian, Captain America.
Why are we still committing to these bits instead of watching the Tenet trailer?
Because I know I'm gonna have nothing to say on Tenet because the trailer is just...
Hello.
Balls to the walls, cool, and kind of obfuscating.
It kind of.
So we're about to watch the trailer for Warner Brothers' upcoming Christopher Nolan release, Inception 2.
Wait, I just had a thought.
Oh no.
The dinner scene is a ripoff from Logan.
Explain yourself!
It's ripping off the dinner scene in Logan, where it's showing superheroes have a happy family dinner. Except, like
they're all superheroes instead of a normal person.
And they are only drinking vodka and probably smoking really cheap cigarettes because cigarettes are cheaper than food.
Yeah.
All right, time for the
Time for something cool.
It ended with see the trailer in theaters for Maximum Effect, and that is like the most like and subscribe thing I think I've ever seen.
Out
Also,
of a film.
Robert Pattinson is trained to Leonardo DiCaprio.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just wondering who the Alec Baldwin knockoff was.
I could not stop thinking through the trailer, like, when does the trailer end so I can go jump back on the feed and call it Backtrack Klansman, but with 3 Ks every time there's supposed to be a K. Because it's John David Washington, you know, it's just Denzel's son. Do you guys know what a fucking Seder Square is?
No, what the hell is a Seder Square? Is it like that picture you sent when Tenet first came out?
Yeah. It was when Tenet came out, I was lucky enough to be home that day, and so 30 minutes after the trailer dropped, I tagged a bunch of people in a Facebook post, so that they could be alerted that the new Chris Nolan trailer was out. And somebody in a Reddit thread discussing the movie brought up that Tenet is the middle word in the 5-line Seder Square, the original, like, 2D palindrome from, like, it's the oldest meme. Like, it's older than Kilroy Was Here by, like, about 3,000 years. It's the oldest meme that we have.
Yeah.
And no one knows what it means. It's supposedly Latin. And it's just a 2D palindrome where it's like Rotus, something, whatever, tenant. And nobody knows what the word tenant means.
Yeah, I think your cat is intending to, like, set herself on fire, by the way.
It's okay. We can always reverse time.
So,
basically, this movie just makes me think, because Death Stranding came out very close to the release of this. It's weird in the same way that Death Stranding is weird to me, an untrained person who doesn't care about Kojima, who doesn't really care about Nolan. And that's to say, I really liked Nolan when I was in high school, but I've slowly found myself just not liking to think about Inception the more that I've thought about it. Like, even Rick and Morty doesn't like Inception. And then the last thing I actually gave a shit about was The Dark Knight Rises, and it was purely because I liked how funny Bane was. That's the only thing I liked about The Dark Knight Rises. So here's a Nolan film. The last thing I saw was you and I saw Dunkirk on your fucking
That is such a bad
screen.
Nolan film to get excited about, and I still feel bad that tainted your Nolan love.
I mean, it didn't really taint it. It's just I have found myself just having a net zero opinion on Nolan because I'd rather.
I sat Jackson down in the saddest part of my life and made him watch it on a, like, 22-inch 1080p screen.
Yeah, you were like, I found a 1080p rip of Dunkirk. Let's watch it.
But we were watching it on my bed, like sitting on the edge of a mattress on my computer monitor that I use for video editing. That is, like, the tiniest, saddest fucking thing. And that movie's meant to be seen in IMAX.
What are you talking about? Chris Nolan always intended it for it to be on a 3rd-generation iPod Nano.
So Jackson had a little bit of Nolan tainting going on. Like, imagine, like, watching Memento for the first time on VHS. Like, that was what I recently did to Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing. I do not give a shit about your audio mixing. I did not enjoy The Rise of Skywalker, in part because the audio was so loud that my ears just were ringing the whole time
Amen
in
to
IMAX.
that.
So I got just exhausted trying to block out some of the louder sound effects in movies. And that's why I don't really give a shit. I did not enjoy... I didn't hate, but I didn't enjoy, because Josh and I saw Rise of Skywalker in IMAX, and ahead of it had like 5 minutes of an action scene from Tenet.
Ooh.
And it was loud as shit.
Sounds like Nolan.
Annoyingly loud. And so I don't really care, because I care about story and stuff, and Dunkirk's story had like nothing that I gave a shit about in it. So I didn't really care for Dunkirk.
Confirmed, Jackson is not British.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck you, Britain. You should have held your ground and died like men.
How do you feel about the main conceit of the movie, which is they have like time warping, but it's like an
occasionally things just run
backwards,
and it's totally random. And an example of that was in the fucking trailer where everything was running normally, except there was one point where John David Washington notices a bullet hole in a thing, and it, like, all the dust billows back into it, and all of a sudden the bullet just flies back and reveals that it's from this guy who's saving him from another guy who's pointing a gun at him. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? It's cool, and I will probably see it, but I do not want to see it in IMAX where I go deaf trying to watch a Nolan film.
It reminds me of the season 4 Rick and Morty thing where you can see like when you're about to die. So you can just
has
get
a
out
death
the way
crystal
the bullets.
jammed into his fucking forehead.
And also, the soundtrack is what Black Widow is ripping off.
Even though the Black Widow trailer came out first, it's ripping off Tenet.
I like the I saw this meme going on, speaking of Rick and Morty, where it was like Chris Nolan's making a new movie and it's just Michael Caine's head photoshopped on Morty and it says, "You son of a bitch, I'm in."
That's, you know, the Black Widow trailer really reminded me of the formulaic heist plot that they had in that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because it's not the same genre, but I think it's the same idea for spy thrillers.
Black Widow is going to go back into the dance academy where she was formulated, kind of like John Wick, and she's going to steal her womb back.
She's gonna just glue it back in.
Flex tape.
Oh my god.
Meat glue.
We have a much more accessible...
Again. Did you hear this man just say meat glue?
I heard him. I just kind of phased it out of my brain. We have a much more accessible trailer that's probably going to be more fun to rip off of because Chris Nolan's kind of impenetrable until you see the movie.
Yeah.
We have the trailer for, believe it or fucking not, 20th Century Fox's Free Guy, the Ryan Reynolds project.
That I maintain because it... We'll talk about it after we play it. I cannot fucking believe that Disney is actually okay with releasing this.
They called me Free Guy in Juvie.
I just want to call that movie Shrek-It Ralph.
It basically is. I mean, it's just a live-action GTA, but centered around an NPC, and infinitely better than adapting Grand Theft Auto into a movie could be.
I'm so fucking excited for this movie. It reminds me of like how everyone was like, Ryan Reynolds should play Deadpool. And now I'm very excited to watch Ryan Reynolds play a Grand Theft Auto character.
Right.
Also, is this what studio execs that are like boomers think video games are like?
Yes.
Yes, to a degree. I also think that this project was probably going to be canned by 20th Century until Ryan Reynolds showed up in the Deadpool costume with swords and challenged the executive. Mostly by shitting on his floor and just saying, "Come on, take it from me, you fuckers."
I absolutely, because it makes sense that this is what studio executives think Grand Theft Auto is like, because their kids can afford the DLC. So this is what Grand Theft Auto Online is like for their kids specifically.
Yeah, my experience with Grand Theft Auto is that I log in once a month and I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'm too poor to do anything cool, and if my friends aren't online, I'm going to get in my car and drive to the clothing store, buy like a new scarf for my character, and then walk around town for a bit before I log off."
Right, but meanwhile, if you have money, Grand Theft Auto is exactly like the antagonists in Free Guy.
Yeah.
Also, how do we feel about Taika Waititi probably playing the main villain?
I don't mind. I've seen, like, Taika's been getting a lot more roles in big stuff, especially with Disney lately, so it just seems like he's having a good time. And this one doesn't seem any different, but the one bit we saw of him is kind of awkward from a dialogue sense. So we'll see how it plays out.
Oh, where he's like, I'm a heartbreaker.
I'm a rattlesnake or something like that.
Love breaker, don't you mess around me. It's just... It looks good from a variety of angles. I'm interested. How do you guys think they filmed a bunch of this? Do you think this is just like CGI bukkake?
Yeah.
Or do you think that they like got the camera robot in there?
I think it's CGI bukkake, but I mean, they could have done the camera robot. I wouldn't be surprised either.
It's They Live, but dumb.
Oh god, you just broke me! No!
I would say that They Live But Dumb is still a really great pitch.
If you put on these sunglasses, you'll find out you're actually in an Xbox 360 game.
Is this all product placement for Google Glass?
Google Glass was canceled, my guy. That thing's more dead than Google Plus is, and Google Plus is buried 12 feet under.
They canceled it because too many people got punched in the face for wearing it. And they ran out of Google Glasses because they all broke.
Oh my god. So, I mean, Free Guy just looks like a good time. It doesn't look like it's trying to be anything more than a really dumb, really raunchy action movie that's still being able to be marketed as a Disney film.
Yeah, because they finally took advantage of the fact 20th Century Fox was bought out by Disney and made fun of the soulless live-action remakes right in the beginning before they showed you anything about the movie.
3 Disney classics brought to you twice. That's the studio we're working with here. That seems like Ryan Reynolds has a producer job now, and he is not giving that up for anything.
Speaking of Disney classics brought to you a second time, this is put on the list by me, and I don't expect us to talk about this at length, but Mulan!
I'm Mulan. I will bring honor to us all.
The lead supports the Hong Kong police.
Oh no!
That's truth.
Yeah.
I gotta admit to you guys that the first Mulan trailer does absolutely nothing for me. We didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But this trailer had an orchestral rendition of the song Reflection by like Zipple and that other guy from the animated movie that I grew up with.
Yeah.
And I fucking love that rendition of the song. It's really good.
I think as a sequel to Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, this movie holds up. Jake Gyllenhaal deserves to be in another one of those, despite being a white man playing the Prince of Persia.
You know what this reminds me of?
Prince of Persia: Sands of Time?
It's like Disney execs were like, we really like 47 Ronin, but we want to make the Chinese market.
Did anybody actually like 47 Ronin?
No!
Nobody saw 47 Ronin!
I saw 47 Ronin.
You saw 47 Ronin?
Yeah.
Did you get like a badge?
Yeah, I got a merit badge, but it's got the same like weird sorceress bullshit to it. It's lit very similarly too, and that's just the feel like it. That's the vibe.
It is slightly less soulless than The Lion King, because this is more attempting to adapt the actual legend of Mulan.
I was about to say the exact same thing. Ever since this came out, Reddit has been informing me this is actually what... There's like apparently a very famous Chinese legend of Fa Mulan, and apparently this is it on film. And there's no fucking Eddie Murphy dragon, which just throws me way off.
Right, but I mean, like, it's totally understandable, and I respect it. I don't want to see this movie, but I wouldn't say no if somebody is like, hey, I'm buying you a ticket to Mulan for $5 Tuesday. I'm like, there are worse ways to waste my time. I could see Underwater again.
It would be interesting if the global market was integrated enough that like we made Chinese propaganda but for American audiences. And that's what I love about this idea. It's an ancient Chinese fairy tale, which like we're totally not fucking with that nation right now because of their like funky politics. But, like, we're just adapting one of their most famous legends into a straightforward, like, probably PG-13 rated drama.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see how that turns out. It's just, I know it's gonna be nothing like, Mulan's one of the most enjoyable movies of my childhood.
Yes.
Like, I can't tell you how many times in college I could make friends just by, like, going up to a random theater kid and going, let's get down to business! You know, like, that no longer is the case with Mulan.
Right.
Like, it's going to be this straightforward, like, oh, I'll bring honor to us all. Like, it's fucking China movie.
There is no way that this is going to replace the original animated classic, and I agree with you. I think Mulan, if I had to pick something out of the Disney Renaissance, because I think Mulan fit into the tail end of that.
Yes.
It would be Mulan. Because the rest of the Disney Renaissance is like, it's okay, maybe Aladdin.
It's up there, but
Mulan
Atlantis, the Lost Empire, with, like, being a crowd pleaser.
Yeah. I mean, Atlantis is, as postdates the Renaissance and was the death of their 2D animation suite, along with Treasure Planet.
Really? We really consider, like, Treasure Planet and Atlantis to be, like, separate from the Renaissance?
Yes, they are considered...
Damn, I'm just now hearing about this.
They're considered separate, unfortunately.
Fuck my ass.
I think Mulan, whichever one came out in 96 was the last Renaissance film. I think it might have been Beauty and the Beast, actually.
I think that if the trend is strong female characters, this will be interesting because it's also kind of important to, like, the trans community.
Yeah.
And like, depending on, because this is not hinted in the trailers at all, whether or not they're going to play it from that angle, it might really, like, be able to hit, like, a sweet spot.
Right.
That would be the best move Disney could possibly play is to hit the trans market without advertising to
I
us.
feel like, though, Disney would immediately say, we didn't want the trans people to watch this movie. Stop buying our tickets.
Yeah, it's just about a woman who fucking, pretends to be a man and eventually gains the cultural status of one.
It's
like,
somehow the least convincing, pretends to be a man, too. It's less convincing than it was.
Because in all the battle scenes, she has, her woman hair that's just under a helmet.
She didn't cut her hair! Why don't you cut your damn hair?
Because the lead didn't get paid enough.
She didn't get... No, the Hong Kong police were bankrolling her.
I just can't wait until the scene where Fa Mulan is, trying to kill all of the Huns, and she accidentally shoots one in the eye, and then the one she shot in an eye comes up in the later scene with a Pepe, and it's just police shot me in the eye for trying to invade.
Oh, I thought that he would pull up the fucking dagger and click it and time would rewind.
God damn it.
I am maintaining my Prince of Persia Sands of Time is a fun movie.
To continue with our whole, it's sort of I don't even want to call this feminist, it's just got a woman as the protagonist.
It's just a traditional story, and this is how the traditional story has been told round and round and round.
We've got the next movie, which is a movie that's sort of a, how would you describe, because before we play
Suicide Squad, but feminist.
I can't debase it that much because I actually love that this movie's coming out. It's Suicide Squad, but they took all of the criticisms about how Jared Leto's Joker wasn't fucking needed for Margot Robbie to play Harley Quinn properly. We've got Birds of Prey.
I'm not looking forward to this, but I haven't seen the trailer, so I'm prepared to be surprised.
The beginning of the retcon of Suicide Squad, ending ultimately in the James Gunn release. Let's watch it. I just, when I saw the title every time that I see this trailer, I always think of Birdman or The Unexpected Virtue of Ignorance, except it's Birds of Prey or The Liberation of One Harley Quinn.
That made me angry because it breaks every rule that I like in trailers, which is establish a place, establish a pace, and establish a micro story. This is literally just Margot Robbie, I'm not Jokers, I'm me, Harley Quinn, and it's the entire fucking trailer. You get nothing out of this other than I saw Ewan McGregor for a brief flash in the wall of text at the end.
This is a Lizzo song.
I heard a Reddit criticism of this movie the day the trailer came out. It wasn't really a criticism, it was just a comment. It was the top comment of the whole thread, which was, hey, I heard Margot Robbie was in this movie.
I'm genuinely excited for James Gunn's Suicide Squad because there's 32 really good actors in it. But what the fuck is this?
I honestly have no idea. It is if ADHD was a trailer with white trash Harley Quinn.
Suicide Squad had a more competent trailer than this.
You know what this is? This is a Sucker Punch ripoff.
I can see Austin over there being like, this is not the reaction I expected from viewing this trailer.
No, because I actually like the Birds of Prey trailer.
See, I know less about the movie than I did before I saw the trailer. That's how I feel. And it didn't even raise any questions. It's just made me aware that this is an unknown. I have no idea what this is going to be about or what the tone is, if there is a established tone. Or like you said, the pace, because it's they just took a bunch of clips and then wrote down the time codes from the movie on confetti and picked them out of a hat and then just put them in the order that they picked them out.
Oh god.
And then made that the trailer.
I mean, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is going to be there, so it can't be all bad.
Don't we like Ramona Flowers still?
McCready from The Thing.
Yeah.
I really like...
When are we doing our podcast over 2011, The Thing?
That movie didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about.
I really like that Ewan McGregor reminds me of an actor who can play the Joker, Suicide Squad Joker, but won't send condoms full of used condoms full of cum to his co-stars. Well, that seems like a thing that they're retconning here. Is like,
I'd be okay if it was Ewan McGregor doing the Joker.
in all of because they're doing the thing with the rapid cutting, and like they're establishing the Joker is out of the scene, but Ewan McGregor, who I think is playing Black Mask or some character.
I don't know what any of these characters are.
Right, they don't tell you in the trailer. I had to look this up through Reddit. But he's playing a character in the movie that reminds me so much of Joker, but played, for adults.
Granted, I maintain that you could replace Jared Leto with Ewan McGregor in any movie Jared Leto's in and have a better performance.
For Christ's sakes, Ma, I gotta go save the Jedi.
I don't fucking like Jared Leto.
Just Requiem for a Jedi. I'll always defend Jared Leto just for Requiem for a Dream.
That's fair.
Jared Leto Atreides.
Alright, so up next is a trailer that I'm just so fucking excited for you guys to watch.
You booked a river cruise and you can't swim? The price just went up.
So on the one hand, they had a lesbian kiss in Star Wars, but on the other hand, this is literally colonialism.
Not just literally colonialism, but this is the most Pirates of the Caribbean-ass knockoff I've ever seen.
Well, believe it or not, in case you guys haven't been to Disney World because your sister doesn't work there, Jungle Cruise is a ride at Disney World.
Oh,
This is a direct adaptation of a Disney ride.
I'm aware.
Doesn't make it not colonialist.
But they did take the route of just ripping off fucking Jack Sparrow for Emily Blunt's character. And then they stuffed... I keep expecting The Rock to flex wrong and his entire outfit to just shred.
He looks like Terry in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I thought that a cruise place looked kind of good, in the sense that, like, I'm excited to see what new CGI packages that they can experiment with. Like, it appears that they found a way to wrap snakes all around a person's body in place of skin.
Right.
It appears that they've done some stuff with water, I guess. There's this channel that you can follow on YouTube, Disney Labs, where they publish all of the like interns who are working on their CG department, and you can follow them there. And I'm sure that like their recent discoveries will be in this movie. Mm-hmm. So the plot of this movie, I'm thinking, is going to be just like Deliverance, where they're going downriver and it's very normal, and then at one point they encounter just a very, very graphic rape scene.
Let's see, I was thinking that Emily Blunt works for MI6, and she's been given a mission for her sins to kill Robert Pattinson's character from Lost City of Z.
Everywhere you go, it's just you.
Robert Pattinson gained 300 pounds for the role, and she's going to murder him brutally with a machete. And there will be an on-screen animal sacrifice.
What if this was just like this premieres in theaters and everyone buys tickets to go to Jungle Cruise, and then the title comes up and it just says Heart of Darkness?
I thought it was just going to say Cannibal Holocaust. I mean, I would rather watch this than Birds of Prey, but that is not saying much.
Walt Disney himself held the entire crew at gunpoint and forced them to carry the boat up a hill.
It's just,
oh dear,
it's just,
you steal my methodology.
It's just Ritz Caraldo. Meanwhile, on the boat, everyone's fine. Now we're gonna watch a controversial trailer that came out all of 2 days ago called Jew Mutants. But yeah, how did you guys like the trailer for Doug Walker's The Wall?
The Russian girl reminds me of what's her name from Garfunkel and Oates.
Oh fuck.
Fuck me in the ass.
I can't remember either of those women's names to save my life, even though I adore that outfit.
It's Garfunkel and Oates.
Just fuck you.
Fuck me in the ass because I love Jesus.
The poople loophole. That is the second trailer tonight where we've watched a brunette woman who's dyed her hair blonde doing the best Russian accent I've ever heard.
So I think this is the start of movies inspired by games like Deep Space.
The Evil Within. What the fuck is Deep Space?
Dead Space.
Oh, there we go.
Where it's a bunch of people with superpowers that also are in a horror movie.
Yeah, I mean...
Which kind of cheapens the whole horror movie thing.
It does, but I mean, this movie was finished in 2017. This movie was slated to come out the same year as Logan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This movie has had 3 years.
This movie would have come out when I think you guys were in school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it would have come out, and then it just kept getting delayed, and then the Disney buyout delayed it further, and now here we finally are getting New Mutants, long after anyone who cared about it wanted to see it.
Mutants drink wine and get a haircut. Movie's delayed.
That's a deep cut. But, I mean, there's not much to talk about. It's a horror movie, but it features the X-Men. And not the X-Men, a bunch of not X-Men. Discount-ass X-Men. And it has no correlation to any other, like, fucking 20th century Marvel movie. It's just, it features mutants, and it's a horror movie.
It reminds me of there was this movie that James Franco made called Zeroville. And it was filmed, like, forever ago when we were in a different part of our lives. Mm-hmm. And they kept throwing it at these post-production people, which, you know, I can empathize with because I'm the official post-production department of a lot of films that I'm on. Yeah. And instead of releasing it when they'd have a cut and just going, this will be a bad movie, this will be a tax write-off, we'll just, like, accept what this is, they kept passing it on to new people, hoping that somebody would finally get that angle, or something would happen, where they'd go, oh, we can release this now. That's what this movie is. It's I don't know, edgy trash?
I think there was one special effect that I thought, oh, that looks cool. And it's when she puts her hand against the orange wall. And
oh, yeah, that did look cool.
It goes
was
ripply,
like Cabin in the Woods, but nice.
Yeah, it actually looked like a really quality VFX for something that was just uploaded to YouTube. It looked filmic. And I'm like, you know what? You know what? This does not justify a single fucking part of this movie.
I'm not excited for New Mutants at all. But
no one is.
You know what could possibly taint your taste a little better than that trailer?
I don't
what I'm about to fucking show you.
Not mine. I'm sorry. You touch my coca. I don't want to touch your coca.
Anyway, I love you guys. Thanks for coming by.
I don't know what we watched, but at least Kumail Nanjiani is in it.
That's not Kumail Nanjiani. That's the guy who played Dopender in Deadpool.
Well, now I'm racist.
Yeah, you think all Indian guys are the same, Jackson?
Damn it.
So thoughts on that trailer? Have you guys ever heard of ring theory?
No.
It's this thing that George Lucas employed in supposedly in Star Wars Episode 4, where it's a sort of cyclical storytelling. Has nothing to do with what I just showed you.
I don't know what does.
Basically, we just watched a fucking girl-ass movie.
We just watched a trailer that was just me assaulting you. Basically just saying, like, this is my house, as if I were, like, a predator. Like, it was horrible, and I'm sorry for what I did. Anyway, time for Top Gun from the Top.
At least Tiffany Haddish was there. I still haven't seen the original Top Gun, and the only way I will ever see it is on a VHS tape.
Same. I'm holding out for that perfect experience when Josh invites us over and lets us watch it on VHS in his house.
As it should be.
I do have it on VHS.
You have a VHS player. Is it hooked up?
No.
You gotta fix that.
I'm not attached to Top Gun sentimentally, but I do like that for this new movie, their, like, entire gimmick is we put IMAX cameras on these, like,
on the nose of fucking fighter jets
or whatever the fuck.
That's probably
like some Chris
like
Nolan
F-16.
shits, like insanity.
Yeah, it's Chris McQuarrie, director of pretty much. I think he has assisted in some way with the last 10 Tom Cruise films.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he and Tom Cruise are like best buddies. They sleep in a bunk bed and
talk about like, Scientology.
Yeah, they pass notes to each other all night and they're giggling the whole time. But anyway, yeah, the Chris McQuarrie flick, he's just... I guess Tom Cruise understands Chris McQuarrie, so they work together on everything. I am interested in this, and I do think that this trailer does what I was talking about that Birds of Prey didn't so well, where it establishes a setting, establishes a hook for a story, and then kind of sets up what the story is going to be without giving away what the story is.
I have a problem with this trailer where they're doing the speech in the beginning where they're setting up who Tom Cruise's character is. Where they're like, this guy's teachings could mean the difference between life. And they show some, fucking actor who I should probably know the name of. And then they're like, and death. And they show the guy from Whiplash, Miles Teller, like sweating his fucking balls off. Just looking sketchy as shit, like he just did heroin. And I'm like, I wonder who the trouble student is going to be.
I mean, they didn't go into the amount of war crimes that Tom Cruise commits on a regular basis.
Just flying over Iran. Just
targeting cultural sites.
52 of them. No more, no less.
He's the only one that would actually do it. He took out one a week.
I'm excited because I think the Air Force is like one of the places people can go if they just want to sit in a desk chair for their 4 years of deployment. Mm-hmm. And if we're going to have military propaganda, we might as well have it be for the fucking Air Force.
Right. Right. And also just like, Tom Cruise is not actually flying the jets in this because the pilot is the back seat, not the front seat, which this movie is like lying to you to make you think that Tom Cruise is flying a jet. But I'm positive that he at least learned the basics of flying a jet because he's a madman who never went from not knowing how to fly a helicopter to being able to do all the stunts in the helicopter himself in Mission Impossible Fallout in like less than 2 years.
I'm just what if there's a scene where Tom Cruise, you know how he's like, oh, I wasn't expecting to be invited back. They embrace the Scientology angle, where he's just like a Scientologist in the movie, and they.
I wasn't expecting to be invited back. We always welcome our brothers back, no matter how long they leave to preserve their relationship with their daughters.
Listen, you trap people on boats and kill them, Sea Org. We trap people on boats and kill them, the Navy. We have more in common than you think. And the whole film is about Tom Cruise and his military commander learning to realize that both of the organizations they're running are essentially religions.
Oh my god.
I just want to see Battlefield Earth 2.
Yeah, when is that happening?
2021.
This movie.
I think that we are good contenders, despite not having any correlation to Scientology, to just make Battlefield Earth 2.
Oh, yeah. We could make it in a weekend. Tanner Kraft in every role. Alright, I don't expect us to have much to say about this trailer, so let's just see how much we fucking have left, because God knows we've been running for a second.
Yeah. We have...
How long are we?
We're at an hour 24, but keep in mind a bunch of that is just cut from the trailers and stuff.
Should we watch any of these left, or should we just end it?
I'd like to talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Okay. And to end it, we're going to talk about the trailer for Ghostbusters 2016.
Yeah.
Wait, I mean, the new Ghostbusters trailer that doesn't have a woman in it.
So do you think they're going to Grand Moff Tarkin any of the original cast?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they cannot just let Egon be dead.
Murray's coming back.
Bill Murray might be dead.
How's about another joke, Murray? I can't get over the fact that Egon's granddaughter looks so much like Egon. Like, she's just got the glasses and looks like a complete fucking dork.
I genuinely can't tell if it is a boy or a girl.
God, I wish we were in a visual medium right now. Yeah, the perplexity. I think as coded as female, maybe an NB. Who cares? We'll veer on the side of political correctness and just say they're an actor in a movie.
Yeah. I have very little attachment to Ghostbusters, and it's funny because the one time I tried to watch Ghostbusters, my brother and my dad sat us down to watch it because my dad's like, he's like, yeah, Ghostbusters is fun. Let's watch
Ghostbusters is fun.
And then my brother and I could not get past the fucking dog. We turned off Ghostbusters and
Why? Did it scare you?
Yes!
Oh
yes,
my god, the dog is in this trailer!
Yeah, it scared the shit out of me.
The Hellhounds!
Yeah, the Hellhound. And just, we couldn't finish Ghostbusters, and we never revisited it. I didn't go see 2016 Ghostbusters, even though I heard Chris Hemsworth was, like, the best part, and it just breaks into a musical number because it can.
If I'm remembering correctly, there's a part where he proposes the logo to 7-Eleven as the Ghostbusters logo, and it's just a, comedic mastermind, made that scene happen.
I mean, this does look like it's basically just, fuck you every other sequel to Ghostbusters. The first one is the only good one, which... They're technically correct.
Yeah, because Ghostbusters 2 was a snooze fest and also kind of, it was a downer. It was too serious.
Yeah.
And that's really weird, considering Ghostbusters is one of those PG movies from back before the PG-13 rating was made, where they only got away with what they got away with because the MPAA didn't know how to connect young adult movies to adult movies.
Right.
So Bill Murray was a sex addict in the movie, and most of what happened was really fucked up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's one of those golden PG movies from back in the day where you would gladly just sit a kid down and show them something traumatic and go, oh well, it's got parental guidance as the rating.
Yeah. Now that I've basically played through all of Dead Space on my own, I think that I can handle Ghostbusters now, so I might brush up on this, because this actually does portray it in a way that makes me interested. It's got a good angle, and again, the trailer is made where it establishes a setting, establishes a sequence of events to set up the story, without telling you how the story will end.
Right.
So it's a well-made trailer, and it does get me interested in this in a way that I having no attachment to the franchise, didn't expect to be.
I was kind of sad that there wasn't a a sad woman kind of moaning when there's something strange, because trailers do that all the time these days. They've always got some sad woman covering "Sweet Dreams" by the Eurythmics. God. And this trailer didn't do that. They missed out on their opportunity to have Fall Out Boy come in and redo the Ghostbusters theme. We need to have ghosts in our movie.
This just reminds me of It.
Oh, that's fair. Because it's the same demo as Stranger Things, where they've got kids, but they can act seriously in an adult horror movie situation. Mm-hmm. Maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, this has Paul Rudd, and it looks like even though the presentation is somewhat serious and somewhat rustic, even the poster gives me this feel of, the Midwest personified. It does have a little bit of, there is some tongue in cheek, and I expect that the movie will lean a bit more towards the funny direction than the dramatic direction.
But this was on a bunch of movie critics' minds that I've listened to. I can't attribute to which one, because I think a lot of people pointed this out. They had almost no jokes in this trailer.
Right.
Because when the Ghostbusters 2016 trailer came out, it had a lot of jokes in it, and the internet shit its pants. The internet just had diarrhea for a week, because...
Despite the fact that Ghostbusters is largely a comedy, marketing it as a comedy is apparently a no-no.
Right.
So...
Anyway...
that's been a bunch of reactions to trailers. So,
2020 is looking to be a good year, as long as we don't go to war with Iran. So here's to hoping we don't get drafted.
All right, we'll be back next week. So, hasta la pasta. Finger pistols?
Yeah.
Finger pistols.